Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm going to be showing you that the oil pan installation has been a success. As you see, we have no oil leaks, not even a single drop. I've been checking up on the oil pan for the last 3 to 4 days, so I'm going to consider this a successful installation. Now we're one step closer to starting this motorcycle up. Now today we're going to be installing the battery, removing both spark plugs, priming the engine, and then removing the carburetor. So let's get going. Okay, so next we're gonna be installing the battery. All right, so we got the battery installed. I wasn't gonna bore you with a video on installing a battery. So now that we have the battery on, let's go over, move over to the other side and remove both spark plugs. Okay, so we've got the rear cylinder and the front. Now they both look a little bit rich, not too bad, but we won't worry about that right now. Now that we got both spark plugs off, let's go now and prime the engine. Okay, so let's prime the engine and see if we have oil pressure. We have both spark plugs off, so we should have the engine turning over and not starting. Once I turn the ignition on like this, you're gonna see the red light, oil pressure light on, red. Once I start turning the engine over, this light should go off, meaning we have oil pressure. So that's what we're gonna try to achieve in this step right now. So let's go, let's do this and see what happens. Hopefully, as soon as I start turn the ignition on, we should have that little red light just go off as fast as possible. Like that. So let's do it one more time. That's exactly what I wanted to see. As soon as I started cranking the engine over, the red light just turned off, meaning that we have oil pressure. Let's do it one more time. There you go. Now that we got this done and we don't have to worry about it, now I'm pretty safe and feel a lot better knowing that we have oil pressure and we're ready to move on to the next step. Let's go now and start working on the carburetor. All right, so now we're gonna take the carburetor off. I'm gonna start by removing this bracket by taking off these 2 bolts right here, the breather bolts right here. Bracket should come off. Remove this hose and this hose. Gas hoses right here. I'm not too worried about damaging the hoses. I'm going to be replacing all this. So let's get started. I'm going to be removing this small little hose first, breather hose. Put it in the side. Now we're going to see this hose is it's basically gone, rotted away. So, but we're gonna be replacing it, putting a new hose on there. All right, now we got both hoses off. Now we're gonna go and remove both bolts that hold the this plate to the carburetor. Okay, we got both bolts off. The plate is out. Now let's remove this bracket right here and let's put it down to the side. For now, we can leave it hanging down here for now. Okay, now we should be able to go back to the other side. There's 2 bolts holding the carburetor on. So we're gonna go ahead and remove those 2 bolts and the carburetor should come off, and then I'll just disconnect the throttle cable from the carburetor. All right, so here, these are the 2 bolts that we got on the other side, on the left side of the motorcycle. Here's one up here, Allen bolts, and here's another one down here. This is holding the carburetor. So once we remove both of those bolts, the carburetor should just come out, and then we can continue finishing removing the carburetor. So let's get those 2 bolts out. I'm going to remove the top one first. Loosen that one up, go to the bottom one. And loosen that one also. I can see the carburetor already wiggling on the other side. All right, let me reach over and try to hold the carburetor so it won't be, it won't fall off. All right, there we go. Carburetor just came off, so let's go back to the other side and finish disassembling the carburetor. Okay, so here we go. We got the carburetor off the engine already, so the only thing left to do is remove the throttle wire, and we should be able to finish with this process. There you go. There you go, throttle wire's off, and the carburetor's off the motorcycle. All right, so now that we got the carburetor off, and by the way, this is a S&S Super E carburetor. The next step is I'm gonna do a basic cleanup. I can smell the old gas already inside the bowl, so I'm sure we're gonna have a dirty bowl, but we're gonna do a basic cleanup of the carburetor, hopefully install it back on, and then we'll be able to start the motorcycle, and you know, she'll crank up and start up with no problem. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.